right, Grand Rising, good afternoon and good evening. Whatever time you click on this video is the right time for you, and I thank you in advance for your viewership and support. Y'all, I got up this morning and I was going to tap into the energy around the Tory Lanez appellate motion. And before I could really get my day started, I see that Meghann Cuniff has responded. And I want to show you what she said. I'm going to read it first, and then I'm going to hold my phone to the camera so you all can read it, just in case you haven't seen it. So, Meghann Cuniff's statement on X. She posted a picture of the, what is this? The docket register of actions. Okay, this is what she posted. And here's her statement. It says, just got home from the World Series and learned some people spent their Friday night spreading lies about Tory Lanez's appeal for pow-powing Megan Thee Stallion. You know, that word, YouTube doesn't like it, so I try not to use it much. Says, no appellate court has declared Lanez innocent, not even close. The Unite the People group posted documents on Instagram and falsely said that the court accepted Lanez's innocent claim. It would be great if they could post the actual petition so that we don't have to wait for me to get it from the court on Monday. What's this new petition about? Now, I want you to pay attention to not only what she said, hopefully y'all can read this, okay? If you need to, pause the screen, pause the video, rather, so that you can read this for yourself. This lady loves to play semantics. She loves to play in the middle. And she used some very strong language towards Unite the People. She fair flat called his lawyers liars, which could be considered defamation of their professional character. Now, when they posted this appellate decision, they never said that the decision meant that he was already considered innocent. The documents that they registered into the court, the last motion that they had applied for with the court, was for the right to prove innocence, okay? They're asking for the right to overturn things that were handled in the last trial that were done erroneously so that they can have the right to possibly come before the court and retry his claim of innocence. That is what that document that they put into the court, the extended brief, the extended motion rather, pardon me, that's what that was for. So for anyone that hasn't read it yet, I would suggest that you go over to Unite the People. It's lengthy, but it's very straightforward. So I feel that they did a great job in the motion that they put before the AG, and the AG gave them the right to ask for the appellate court to look at this case and decide if it is worth retrying. So for her to make a blanket statement calling his legal team liars, and she admits that she doesn't even have the full motion, nor does she have the actual decision from the AG in her possession. She's going to wait until Monday to get it from the court. Why would you wait until Monday to get it from the court when it is online just about anywhere? The petition has already been out. the decision on the petition, rather, it has already been out for a few days now. Okay, so at least I want to say 2 days before she made this response. So she doesn't have to go to the court to actually thumb through this motion, to read the motion, nor does she have to go to the court to get a copy of the Attorney General of California's decision to this motion. What he granted, the Attorney General of California, what he granted was the right for Tory's team to have this case go before the appellate court, to petition a request for it to be reheard or reevaluated, not stating that he is actually innocent. What it is saying is that he is declaring his innocence, and because he is declaring his innocence and there were things that were erroneously processed during the trial, he's simply asking for the appellate court to take these things into consideration, to look at this as a possible miscarriage of justice because things were not properly executed during the actual trial, and to give Tory and his team the opportunity to possibly go before the court once again and have this case retried in all just fairness and truth by every legal letter of the law, to where the case is going to be tried this time in proper legal standing and order. I know that feels a little wordy, but I know everybody hasn't read the paperwork. I encourage all of you to go and read it for yourself, not just listen to me or listen to commentary of people that are on the internet, but actually read the documentation for yourself. So with that being said, I want to tap into the energy around how is this going to fare for Meghann Cuniff with her blatantly calling Tory's legal team liars. How is this going to fare for her? Is this going to be a downfall for her? Or is this just going to simply be seen as her, being passionate in her convictions? So, thank you to everyone that listened to my commentary. I just had to make sure that everyone was abreast of what was going on. The reason for me doing this tap in, because I've already done a reading on Meghann Cuniff a couple months ago when she went to Megan Thee Stallion's LA show and held up that I'm with Meghann. I want to say it was like not necessarily a banner, but it was like a flag or a towel or something that had Megann's face on it. And I thought that in itself was in poor taste, because how in the world can she report on a court case if she is fanning out over one of the people involved in the case? It makes it very hard for her to be unbiased. So let's see what the energy is going to be like for Meghann Cuniff now that she's come for Unite the People. I know this was wordy, everybody. Somebody please timestamp this for the 9-minute and 23-second mark. I thank you in advance. Show me the energy around Meghann Cuniff and the consequences of her statement. Alrighty. So here it is. she made this very, very bold statement, and the first card out is the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles represents juggling, being in two minds about something, playing both sides of the fence in some type of way. This also is the energy of, like, if you can imagine the term hot potato, like, you know, this is a hot potato. Nobody is going to be able to hold on to it for long. You're going to have to juggle it until it cools down. So Miss Cuniff, I think you stepped in it, because here it is at the bottom of the deck. We have the Queen of Swords, which represents someone who has a sharp tongue. And usually the Queen of Swords is someone that's very, very well learned, very intelligent, very educated. But this can also represent someone who works as an officer of the court, an officer of the law. And this is someone who upholds the truth. If the Queen or King of Swords is in the upright, they uphold, fight, and defend the truth. So it feels to me, allegedly, that you have angered not just the lawyers of Tori's team, but Miss Morgan, Crystal Morgan. You're going to push her. You're going to really push her to prove everything that they put in those motions. And this is feeling like this is going to backfire in Meghann Cuniff's face. But let's keep going to see how this plays out. So we've got the Six of Wands, which is moving forward towards victory. So moving forward towards victory is showing the energy attached towards Tori's legal team, Unite the People. They are going to move forward. And this is looking like they're not only just going to move forward, they're going to favorably move forward. Things are going to start falling in place for the legal team. And baby, you I knew you stepped in it. I felt the energy, the Tower. So the decision from the AG to allow Tori and his team to come forward to even present this before the appellate court, it seemed like this came out of nowhere. This was like a huge catastrophe for Meghann Cuniff. And she needs to start course correcting. She needs to find a new way to go about things, possibly a new direction to go in, maybe career-wise. And this isn't the first time that I've gotten this message. After this case is over, she's going to have a lot of hardship with her career, because it's not even about her putting all of her eggs in one basket. That's not even that, because she reports on several different things. She's not just a reporter that reports on this case, but she made her career. She made herself notable off of this case. So the way that this case moves from here is going to have a really, really large resounding effect on her ability to bag bigger jobs, to work for bigger networks, to work for bigger publications. It's going to block her in and keep her from being where she really wants to be in her career. So I can't tell her what to do, but I would suggest from here on out, if she can help it, to step it lightly and to be more unilateral in the way that she reports things, because this is going to reduce her to, being considered a ragtag reporter. And that's an old term for, people that are younger that didn't grow up in the 80s and 90s. The rag mags were considered to be like the how do I say this? Like the publications that, your mom and your grandma may have used to buy in the grocery store, years ago, because there was no social media. So the rag mags usually were the ones where all the gossip would go to, all the celebrity blind items and things of that nature. They would go into those types of publications. So if she is not careful, the way that she handles this case, the way that she reports on this case, the type of language that she uses to report on this case, this is what she's going to be reduced to. So if she wants to keep her journalistic integrity, she's going to have to be more unilateral in the way that she reports the news. No matter what her affinity is for the stallion, she still has to think about the career choices that she makes for the future of her career, because the stallion can't get her where she needs to be in journalism. So here it is. We've got the Palace of Swords, which deals with prison and law enforcement. And like I said, this tower in the Palace of Swords, honey, this news hit her hard. It hit her harder than crack in the 80s, because she knows that her stability, this Four of Pentacles, her stability relies on the outcome of this case, because she put so much into it. And here it is, everything that she said and done in the past attached to this case, thinking that everything was, pretty much done. It was out of the way, this situation, call it a wrap. It's over, lay it to rest. She thought it was done. She thought it was over. He's locked up. It's over, yay, yay. I was on the right team. We won. But she needs to understand that she's not a part of this team. Your job is to be impartial and not to get personal with your work. And even when you get personal with your work, you have to make sure that your vantage point is not being blocked by your own, bias. So, she's looking back over the past, everything that she's reported. And here it is. You've got the High Priestess coming here. Hopefully y'all can see that the light isn't too much of a distraction. So this High Priestess here with this huge looming moon over her head, she knows that there are higher level secrets, some information that is not known to the public that, could be coming out soon, because the High Priestess in the upright, there's a lot riding on this that she can't afford to come to the table, that is attached to the way that she actually came into this case in the past. And I'm going to have to say allegedly, baby, I can't prove this. I wasn't there. I don't know these people like that. So before I go any further, this reading is for entertainment purposes only. All things said are alleged, all right? Six of Pentacles, unearned income, possibly being paid under the table, okay? So how did you actually come on to start reporting on this case? This is where it gets really sticky, because these are the things that she never thought that anybody could or would get into, because this situation, it was done, lock, stock, and barrel. I thought it was over. Nobody thought that he had a chance to really fight this and come back and win. So I see a lot of worry around the things that are behind the scenes that haven't been released yet, that could come out and be exposed, the Sun, if the appellate court agrees that Tory has the right to have his case reheard. So everything is pending on not only just what the DA has to say in the next 2 weeks, because the DA still has to respond. And then once the DA responds, everything has to be taken into, consideration, from Tory and his legal team to the DA and the DA's response to all things that were placed into that motion. And then the appellate court has to look over both sides' information and make a decision from there to see if this case is worth hearing again, if they can consider, the term limitations of Tory's case to be excessive, which would mean that they may have to dial back his sentence and he could already have time served. So either way it goes, depending on how this goes before the appellate court, before, this year is out, there's going to be a decision about Tory and the likelihood of him coming home. So this is what she totally did not sign up for, which she did not think was going to happen. And she's really on the fence about it, because if all of this comes back to the surface, every tweet that she's ever posted, everything that she's ever reported on this case is going to go through a very, very fine-tooth comb. And it's going to really, really put her in a tight position. And she knows it's a really, really good chance. It's a 50-50 chance from here that the Leo, okay, which strength represents the Leo, has a chance of coming home. And here it is. You have the Palace of Wands. The Palace of Wands represents, action and being in the mind state, the, whole entire energy of pushing through and persevering and taking action. And that falls under this Six of Wands, which means that not only is the legal team going to push forward and take action, this looks like the law firm that is involved in this, they're all in one accord. And as a law firm, they are going to bring the Tower to this situation. And a lot of people are about to be sorry. Page of Cups. This is going to be a shocker. Okay, so what's this energy attached to the prison? Palace of Swords. Four of Swords, the card of rest. Bottom of the deck, faith. And this faith card, I'm about to show it to you guys in one moment. This is showing me, hold on. Because I want to make sure y'all see this. There we go. So as you can see, you got the Faith card here. You have the Eight of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and the Devil. So that's saying that Tori's family is praying without ceasing. They are really, really committed, dedicated to putting the work in and praying for the outcome of this situation to come to a rest. And those prayers are not going without being heard. It may feel like it took a while, but this prison situation is coming to a close. It's coming to a rest. It's pretty much at a point right now where it's like things feel like they're in stasis. And this is someone who just, like I said, Tori and his family, the legal team, they kept the faith. They continued to fight. And this is falling under the Six of Cups, letting it be known that, they never lost their faith, that things that were done in the dark would come to light, here with the High Priestess and the Page of Swords. They want them to know that there is more to this. Page of Swords is like, things happening in a way where people can see it, things being seen before the whole entire world. Also, Page of Swords represents being watched, surveillance, video. And I told y'all almost 2 years ago that there was video. So there's pun and no pun intended. There's a smoking gun here. And there's some very, 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 very strong evidence that is going to not only show that this case was not handled properly, but that Daystar Peterson, better known to the world as Tory Lanez, he's not the culprit. So this is why this is shaking her to her core, because it feels like Miss Cuniff never thought that there would ever come a day where they would actually consider even making this an option to look over Tori's case and to possibly dig through things, sift through things, and take a second look. This was supposed to be done. It's like it feels indefinite, like someone gave her the energy that because of their authority, what was done was done, and that was it. So very, very interesting here. Tell me more about this High Priestess. What about this energy for the unknown, the things that are being held high in secrets? What is this? King of Pentacles. There's a very wealthy middle-aged man that is attached to this situation behind the curtain, okay? This person may have used their resources in secret, and this is why she may feel so comfortable in the idea that what's said is said, what's done is done, it's over. Yeah. There's some evidence also that was not processed in the court with this Queen of Wands and the Seven of Wands. For those of you that are new to me, when I read Meg's energy, I read where you have the person and you have the persona. So because her persona is the hot girl, the Queen of Wands represents fire. So that represents the persona, the person that the public knows. When you see the Queen of Swords come out, that represents her as a person behind the scenes, the Aquarius, the air sign, because swords represent air. So something is going to come to light also about this altercation, because Seven of Wands represents defending yourself, fighting or fighting back as well. And that's going to come to light, and that's falling over here under the Sun card. And this is going to bring happier times for Tori, because they're going to have to really discuss what happened out there that night on the street. There's not going to be any more communication about, well, I just bumped into somebody, I don't remember what happened. They're going to have to really delve into what happened, not just in a vehicle, the conversation that was had, what was said between all parties, how things became physical, because that's very important. Did they already become physical while the vehicle was still moving? Did it become physical after they pulled over? Who actually pulled out, brandished the weapon? Okay. It's interesting because it's like, I'm wondering, like, what made her so sure? Like, I can see this person over here because they have status, they have money, they're tied in to a, you know, group of people that we don't see. Some people may call them a secret order, powerful group of people, however you want to see it. I can see this person being haughty and believing in the hype because, you know, they are the ones that have, you know, the social presence and the power. It's just kind of interesting for me that Miss Cuniff has this haughty behavior, because before this case, it's not to say that she didn't have a career. That's not what I'm saying here. Before this case, she wasn't known to the public the way that she is now. So it feels kind of intriguing to me that she has this sense of entitlement when it comes to Tori not being able to be heard. Why does she have this energy? What is this with Meghann Cuniff, where she feels confident in what she believes and Tori not being heard? Why is that? The Wounded Warrior and the Lovers. So she is completely, you know, gone on the story of DV, and she's allowed that to overshadow her journalistic integrity. How is she going to feel as things start to come out more and more and she has to report these things? How is she going to feel? Show me how Meghann Cuniff is going to feel. Well, interesting enough, you've got the Lovers here, and then you've got the House of Palace. I mean, excuse me, y'all, it's early. I'm waiting for my coffee to kick in. So you've got the Lovers here and the Palace of Coins, pardon me. And this is telling me that everything that she has is riding on the story that she already reported, which she already allowed herself to believe. Show me this Tower in the Page of Cups. What is this about this situation that's going to make her sorrowful, and why is it a Tower for her? Yeah. Hold on. Let me cover up her body. So you've got here the Death card, which is hitting the table. And then you have Temperance here at the bottom of the deck. So this is going to bring an end to the balance of her new beginning. Her being able to start over, to branch out. Hold on. I'm going to change the position of the camera, y'all, a little. All right. So yeah, it's she knows that this can be career ending because she put so much into this. Like I said, she built a career and a life off of the story that was already told. And this is going to bring a rest to her level of comfort and everything that she's amassed on the back of this case. Okay? For her to continue to feel successful, allegedly, okay? Allegedly, for her to continue to feel successful, Tori has to remain behind bars. She does not want to face anything different than what she's already taken part in because it changes everything for her. If the narrative changes, her life changes. Okay? And at the bottom of the deck, you've got the Seven of Swords here, which represents the overlay for the underplay, the back door, the corruption, the manipulation from the past. Now, on this side, it's like she's praying that the Seven of Swords is not exposed, because from that part, where does she go? What does she do? Because now she's seen as someone who collaborated. Baby, when I tell you 2025 is going to tear a lot of women's self-esteem and entitlement down to the bare nubs. And I promise you, that's no lie. A lot of women are going to have to be held accountable for toxic femininity and being forthright and honest about the role that they play in the participation of things. And this is no different. She doesn't have to like either party to report on either person in this case to do her job. But because it feels like she allowed herself to become too close to the story, she allowed herself to become too personally intertwined with one of the parties in this case, she aligned herself for the guillotine. And she's not ready to take the accountability for it. That's why I thought it was strange that she made the statement that she would have to wait to go down to the court on Monday to get it herself. Sweetheart, that's the Pony Express. That's the dinosaur way to do it. Nobody has to go down to the courthouse to get documents. You can literally go online and pay for it and have it in PDF form. But if that's what she feels like she needs to do, by all means, do it. And the reason why is because she's invested so much into this Seven of Pentacles. I'm channeling the chorus of Kanye West song he had featuring Selena Johnson, All Falls Down. I'm hearing Selena's part. Said you build it up and then it all falls down. So this is where she is. She's built all of this energy that was supposed to help to balance her career and her new legacy for her life, the direction that she was going in. Everything was finally aligning the way that she'd always dreamed of. And now it's all falling down. Yeah, this is grossly going to affect her work. And I have to say once again, allegedly, it feels like she was working directly with a hidden source that may have been allegedly possibly employing her outside of the actual employer that she was working for. So this is feeling like, this is why, another reason why she can't stomach or wrap her head around the idea of this going back before the court, this being heard again, because if and when it ever gets to the point to where everything can go back before a court of law and be reprocessed and retried, she's going to have to scrap 90% of what she's put out because it's laced in opinion-based commentary versus just giving the information that has been reported through the court. And see, here's where the Associated Press has an advantage over Miss Cuniff. A lot of the Associated Press stayed away from this case. They didn't report this case. And when it looked like things were taking a funky turn with this case and people didn't know what was happening, they just went hands off. So a lot of those cases, a lot of those, companies, they don't have to write retractions because they treated this case as a pariah from the very beginning. A lot about this case was not reported, or was reported in a way to where partial information was coming into the media by, mass media. Most of what people know about this case comes from content creators on YouTube. So when they go before the appellate court to see what the decision could possibly be with the appellate court, if they will allow this case to be reheard, it's going to seem like people are actually hearing about this case for the first time, because a lot of the big network affiliates failed to actually report on this case in its full totality. So for her, because she was one of the biggest voices attached to this case, she made a large impact in how this was reported. It's going to follow her for the rest of her life, good, bad, and indifferent. And she's going to need balance through a new beginning, because whoever brought her in to help with this case, they're no longer going to, be in contact, because it's every man for themselves at this point. So there's not going to be a balance through a new beginning with her possibly working with this alleged shadow person anymore, because that person is taking their hands off of everything. They're removing themselves from this case. They're removing themselves from the person that they got involved in this case for. This time around, everybody truly is a man alone. Everybody has to approach this like they have no help. And this is going to be kind of scary, because this is a very big figure here. This King of Pentacles, well, this deck says coins, but this King of Coins under the High Priestess and the Eight of Coins, this person can make or break you. This person can feed you or put you in a drought, okay? Told y'all this is a very, very big figure, an emperor. This is somebody who runs things, okay? This is someone that is a leader in the community and someone that is very influential. And this person is really, really, really in a bad place mentally right now, because everything that wasn't supposed to happen is happening right now. This feels like, what's that song, Murphy's Law? Thought you had it all together, didn't you, baby? Murphy's Law surely out to get you. It's like anything that can fall apart can and will. And this is where this energy is coming from, because Unite the People came in like a wrecking ball. This was not supposed to happen according to this King of Coins, this Emperor, this person that, figured I can throw my weight around because I have influence. So just wow. And see, when this message came forward, the Knight of Swords, she knew it was going to be a direct blow to, like I said, her financial stability, her career, everything that she has built and amassed, because she received so much support and acclaim from following this case, that the one thing that gave her the validation that she has always wanted in her career can be the one thing that can tear her career down. Yeah, she should have just left this alone and moved forward. So that pride before the fall is epic, because baby, if any card in the deck is a release card, I want you to pay attention to this. 6 of Swords. This is someone being released from tyranny. This is someone escaping a dark, chaotic, toxic situation and going into the dawn of the new day. Okay? This is someone fleeing from persecution. And that's a tower for Mrs. Cuniff, excuse me, Miss Cuniff, because she's not married. This is a tower for her, because if it is remotely possible for Tori to come home, everything that she built, it falls apart. And here's this prominent figure who helped to give her stability. And they fall under this Palace of Swords, this 4 of Swords. This Palace of Swords, this 4 of Swords, and the Palace of Coins. This person really, really, really dug deep to put some really, really, really heavy influence and investments behind how this situation ended. At least for Tori, it was supposed to just end with him going to prison, with, his whole life being on a standstill, everything at a rest when it comes to, his career, the company that he has, because you got to think about Palace of Coins to the 4 of Coins. Tori is going into, and I'm not going to say was, he's going into a very, very, very prosperous stage in his life. What he's about to do with music, what he was already doing with music, when I tell you, y'all don't even understand how Tori changed the game. The whole entire recording industry changed after Tori discovered how to use NFTs. Now you have record labels trying to buy up all the NFTs. Now you have record labels trying to morph into distribution companies, because they know that business as usual is like a dinosaur. It's dying out. It's going to be extinct soon. So this is another reason why it's nerve-wracking to even think that he has the possibility, just a remote chance of being heard. And you got the Ace of Cups here. So, she's in a valley of indecision here. 7 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This is also my card for substance abuse or drinking. So she could be, indulging, thinking about everything in the past, just trying to pray that people are going to still collaborate with her because she loves what she does. She loves being a reporter. But when the High Priestess is in the upright, that means that the High Priestess is righteous. Okay? So even though this person has pulled a lot of strings, whoever this King of Coins is, this middle-aged, very well-established, wealthy man, okay? And this man brought a lot of work to her secretly, allegedly. The terms and conditions have changed. And that's a hangman to her working situation. And it's going to bring a lot of heartbreak. 7 of Cups here. Temperance. She's, like I said, she's trying to consider if anything has to change in her life, if it puts her in a position to where she has to find balance through a new beginning. What exactly is she going to do from here? Because this situation is not turning out at all the way she expected. And, she's not showing how she feels publicly, even though to me, I feel like she's acting out, when you read her statement, because it's highly irresponsible to call somebody's legal team a liar when you said in the same statement that you have to go down to the court to get an actual copy of the documents. How can you call them liars if you don't have a copy of all of the documentation in which they lied on? You have to be very careful with that. So how is Unite the People going to take her accusation? How are they going to take her accusation, please and thank you? They're playing it close to their chest. Okay? See how the same card just came out? It was at the bottom of the deck. They're playing it close to their chest because they know things that if this is what is upsetting her, she might as well get ready to wipe the steam off her damn goggles, because I'm telling you, her glasses are going to stay foggy until after the new year, because this is just the beginning. So the bottom of the deck, which is the other half of the answer for how Unite the People may, take this, you might as well get ready to say take it to the house, because they feel like they have this in the bag. Wheel of Fortune is they're going to win. This is the energy that they have. They're remaining humble, but they really have the feeling and the energy privately that they have this in the bag. They're not going to stop until they win. So it looks like they're publicly going to pay her dust, but they're going to make her eat dust too, because they're going to keep working hard on this case and forcing her to report until she finally has to report the truth. Not just one side of it, but report all of it, good, bad, and indifferent. Yeah. So they're like, hey, we're in this for life. We're going to stick with Tori until we win. That is the energy that I have attached to Tori's legal team. And it's like they're not going to stop until they see him walk out of that prison and he's free. That's the energy behind this team. They feel like he's had several situations that did not work out properly, but they're going to stick by him and ride this out until the very end. So that's the energy that I have around Unite the People and how they feel about Meghan's statement. And then here it is. King of Swords, which represents a lawyer, right? Comes out in the upright. So they're even looking at, the partnership that they've developed with Tori as a new form of business, a new business alliance, not just because they're representing him. They're going to want to continue to work with him in the future on prison reform and making sure that people are, heard. Lord, I hope she's sitting up in the house like this with all these glasses knocked over. Because I told y'all, it feels like she could possibly, if she hasn't already, go off into substances, allegedly possibly slip back into drinking due to depression. And it would be attached to how all of this information from the past is looked at in the near future. So she's praying that she doesn't lose everything that she works for, because like I said, she still wants to be able to collaborate with others because she loves what she does, and she's praying that the sins of the past don't come back to haunt her when it comes to this Aquarius, the star, Meghann, the other Meghann. So as you can see with this Devil card, you see how this maleficent energy has this person here caged? But look a little closer. That door is open. So no matter what type of energy is involved in this situation, the door is open. He's going to come home. And I didn't even mean for that to fall like that, but look at what's up under the deck. Heartbreak. Meghann Cuniff is about to be very heartbroken the way that this case is going to make a turn, because she never saw this coming. This is why you have to always function in integrity. Good, bad, and indifferent. Function in integrity. Because you can't guarantee that the people that you go into a situation with won't throw you under the bus. But if you hold your own, just like you got into the situation, you can get out of the situation. Yeah, she's hold on. Make sure I got the deck in the right position. I had it backwards. Yeah. We're going to end it here. So here it is. This is going to be heartbreaking for her, because once this cycle ends, she's going to have a lot of people in the journalistic world that are going to sever ties. They're going to separate themselves from her, the world to the Seven of Swords. And I'm going to leave this here. That's where we're going to close this reading. Meghann Cuniff versus Unite the People. What goes up must come down, honey. See, she never thought about the moment that, things can go full circle. No matter how you feel about a situation as a journalist, you must have journalistic integrity. You must go into a situation without, picking sides, especially when you don't know any of the people involved and you don't have clear-cut evidence that the people involved are, caught up in a way that there's no way for them to get out of it. So the moment that the test came back and they said that they couldn't find any residue on Tori's hands, that to me should have been, you know, like an alarm that went off and said there may be something more to this, but let's continue to follow the story. Because the good thing about journalistic integrity is no matter who wins or who loses, if you maintain that integrity, you still make money telling both sides of the story. So I'm going to end this here. And this reading is adjourned. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye, y'all.